coming with us.
No, there must be some kind of
Hey guys, what's up? This is Lucas Sullivan.
I'm Maxwell McGee.
And I haven't played Resident Evil Revelations 2.
Well, Lucas, it's funny you should say that because I have played
My God.
Resident Evil Revelations 2, all 4 episodes.
You're the expert here.
I would dare to say so.
So you're the guy that reviewed it for Games Radar Plus.
That I am.
And I'm going to ask you a few questions to find out what you thought about the game.
Gonna do a little quiz time here.
Yeah.
You're gonna quiz me.
So, I mean, first off, this is a Resident Evil game. So how does
Indeed.
it compare to other Resident Evils, classic or recent?
Sure. Revelations 2 definitely has more of a classic Resident Evil kind of feel to it. If you're used to sort of the more action-heavy, like, I always call it zombie judo of, like, Resident Evil 5 and 6, you don't get as much of that here. Because a lot of 6, you'd pull out your pistol, you'd shoot, like, kneecap a zombie and then run up and do some crazy karate move in the head. And there's still a little bit of that in this game, but the emphasis is definitely on sort of the ranged gunplay.
They dialed it down.
They did, just a little bit. The zombies, they're pretty tough. They got, like, rusty nails and stuff sticking out of their arms, so, like, they don't look like they hit you that hard, but they end up doing a lot of damage just with, like, single strikes. So you always want to keep your distance, and you definitely want to focus on your guns, on the big guns.
Yeah, Barry's got those big guns. Tell me a little about those characters, by the way.
Right. So you have 2 teams of 2. And co-op and sort of teamwork are very important in this game. So I always call it the A side and the B side for every episode.
Okay.
So on the A side, you got Claire and Moira, not
Good name.
Moria.
Good name.
Moira Burton, daughter of Barry Burton. And they sort of follow a sort of pattern where Claire is your gunner. She handles
Claire
all.
Redfield.
Claire Redfield.
The one and only.
Classic RE character. She's got all the big guns on the team, whereas Moira, she's on flashlight duty. She got herself a flashlight. She got herself a Gordon Freeman crowbar. She's there to shine her flashlight and blind dudes and then follow up with a smack to the head with the crowbar. Meanwhile,
I like it.
Claire's running around back there shooting stuff, whatever. Moira, she can get a little down and dirty. And then the same kind of thing applies to your B-side team, which is Barry and Natalia Corda, I believe that's her name, who's also a new character of the series. And they're great for many reasons. But gameplay-wise, Barry, again, he's got all the guns.
He's got
and
the
then
big
Moira,
guns.
she's like a little 8-year-old girl or something. So she's
got the bricks.
She's not running with the guns, but she's got bricks. And she can, you don't even know, she could deck zombies with bricks.
Ooh.
It's so hilarious.
Take
like,
them out.
I'd be playing the game cooperatively, and I'm playing as Barry, and, you know, you're running around, like shooting dudes down with your machine gun, and then, like, from off screen, just like a brick comes flying.
Long
You
bomb.
got brick, yeah. Somebody's
downtown.
That's
You got
right.
a brick.
So Natalia's over there shooting 3-pointers with a brick, and it just hits them, and they fall right over.
That's
It does,
awesome.
like, because I guess they want to balance it a little bit, where she can kind of defend herself, but her brick just does ridiculous damage. It's hilarious. The 2 of them are hilarious for a whole bunch of reasons, but
So is this co-op play, I guess, more palatable than Resident Evil 5 and 6, where your AI partner was just an idiot?
I would say yes.
It's better.
Yeah, it definitely worked better than it did in 5 and 6. And there's a couple of things that they've done to kind of smooth out the edges, as it were. So, for instance, like there's a big skill tree. You can unlock all these different skills for your characters. And one of sort of the skills that you can unlock that applies to everybody is this ability to allow Claire and Barry to use guns when they're AI controlled, which seems kind of silly, but it's one of the skills you can unlock early on. And when they do use their guns, they don't use up any of your ammo. So, you know, they'll be running around shooting stuff, but they're not just like, they're not going to freak out, empty like 2 clips on one zombie and be like, dude, why did you just blew through all our ammo. That was for the team, man.
We needed that.
We need it. You don't know what's coming around the corner. So they won't like burn through all of your ammo. You get into like a nice little groove with your 2 partners, especially when you're playing as Claire and Moira. Because Moira, so she'll run in, boom, hit the guy with the mag light.
Bam.
And if you get it like right on his face, it'll stun him temporarily. But Claire will run in, kick the dude in the face, and then Moira can come in for the coup de grace and stab him with the crowbar. So you kind of get this 1, 2, 3.
Thought she was gonna stab him with the flashlight.
You can stuff it in his mouth. But you get sort of this 1, 2, 3 combo happening. And stuff like that is like really fun and effective and reinforces those co-op mechanics. You don't just have 2 characters that are like equally have the exact same skill set.
But one's smart and one's not so
one's
smart.
guns and one's crowbar. And they complement each other. It's all
Right
about
on.
being complementary.
So is this more in the vein of survival horror or action with tense set pieces.
I mean, there's so many things survival horror can mean at this point. I mean, if you're looking to like, PT, like jump out of your seat, like scary stuff, the game doesn't have a lot of that. It has the sort of more moody atmosphere of like a Resident Evil 4, for example. You do go through like some sleepy villages where like, what's going on? Where'd all the people go? And then you kind of get overwhelmed and like the zombies come out of the woodwork and stuff. So I mean, it tries to have that sort of creepy vibe, like it's more like B-movie horror, basically.
I can get down with
it's
that.
not like psychological, gonna keep you up at night horror, but you know, that's the vibe they're going for.
And how about that episodic structure? Like, do you see people buying the first episode, seeing how they like it, and then deciding whether or not to keep going, or is it just like you should just buy it all at once?
Well, I mean, there are pros and cons to both. I will say if you just want to get the first episode, kind of dip your toe in the water, see if you like it. It is pretty cheap. I think it's only like $6 to get
Not
the
bad.
first episode. And you get a lot of content there. But I actually kind of liked the episodic structure just because you play Resident Evil 5, play Resident Evil 6. Like those plots are so just sort of full of twists and turns and evil corporations and backstabbing and crazy reveals out of nowhere. Like they already have all that like soap opera-y, like just convolutedness to them baked in. That like it actually, at least in the first couple of episodes, it works really well. Like every episode, well, you know, they'll introduce the characters, they'll introduce the situation, it'll build up and up and up, and then there's a big climactic set piece at the end, and then like right before the end of the episode, oh, crazy reveal! Oh, this person's dead the whole time. Oh my god, that doesn't actually happen, but that's an example of like, yeah, they'll throw a little stinger on there, and you're, oh, what's gonna happen? And then they have an old next episode teaser and everything, so they totally play it up like it's a goofy TV show or
So
something.
it worked out.
I think it actually worked really well. I mean, is this the format that they need to use for all Resident Evils for now until, you know, infinity? No, it's not. But I mean, for this game, it definitely worked.
Nice. Now, one of the best parts of the game, it sounds like, is something we saved for last, which is raid mode.
Whew.
Tell me about that raid mode.
That raid mode, you'll put away some hours in that raid mode.
File some hours.
That's right. The first Revelations had raid mode in it as well. But basically, it's sort of like the Mercenaries mode from 5 and 6.
Sure.
So you go in, and you have to defeat a bunch of enemies, and then get out, and you level up, and you get experience and stuff. But what's really nice about raid mode is that you sort of get into this, almost like an XCOM, which is a weird game to call out, but you get into this pattern of you're constantly unlocking little things. So you're constantly getting new parts for your guns, like, oh, here's some extra damage. Here's some ice bullets you can equip to this gun. And then you're unlocking new guns themselves, and you can level up everything, and you can level up your character, and your character gets new skills. So it's
Sounds
like
MMO.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like this breadcrumb trail of new parts, new guns, new skills, and new characters as well. You unlock a whole bunch of different characters. They've all got different abilities. So there's just a lot to really dive into there. And what I said in one of my text reviews was that the Mercenaries mode in like 5, 6, and previous Resident Evils was more focused on sort of perfecting. You get like a handful of levels. There's always the time limit. You need to get the highest score possible in this amount of time. It's sort of about perfecting these individual stages. Raid mode is more about this sense of progression. You're constantly unlocking things, leveling up your character, and like time isn't even an issue in raid mode. It's all about reaching a certain kill threshold and unlocking these medals for good performance.
Sounds pretty awesome.
But yeah, it gets really hard to put down when you're in the throes of just like, if I can just get one more level, I'll get me 5 more skill points, and then Barry can start throwing firebombs, and it'll be great.
And is that cooperative only?
No, you can play single. You can play the campaign mode or raid mode, either single player, or you can play it with a buddy on couch co-op.
Right on.
Yeah.
So what did you end up giving Resident Evil Revelations to?
So I ended up giving Resident Evil Revelations 2 a 4 out of 5.
Awesome. And if you want to read Maxwell's full review, be sure to go to gamesradar.com, and we'll see you there.
All right, folks, thanks for watching. And if you want to see more great GR Plus videos, well, our YouTube page is right over here. And if you want to get your READ read on, the GR Plus website is right over there.